Hello legends, my name's Sarah Mack and welcome to another exciting show of the South Eastern Women's Football League. Thanks to the wonderful people at Bendigo Bank. Joining me today, I've got some great guests and we'll start to this gentleman right here. Gary Sanford, welcome back to the show. Good to have you here.
Yeah, it's good to be back, Mac. Thanks for having me back.
No.
It's good to be back.
Lovely, lovely. And we've got Molly. Now, let me get it. Farquharson. Molly Farquharson from Red Hill. Thanks for joining us today, bud.
No worries, good to be here.
Yeah. And down the end there, Stricker's always with me. Sophie Strickland, welcome. And tell us a little bit about that beanie you got on your head.
Yeah, so this week I'm sporting the It's Okay Not to Be Okay beanie. Over the weekend, Franks and Bummers, my team, first Kringle in our third annual It's Okay Not to Be Okay Cup. It's Okay Not to Be Okay Foundation is really close to both Kringle and Bombers. Due to both clubs being impacted by suicide over the last few years, and the foundation was actually started by a family down at the Bombers, the Hockings. The Hocking sisters play netball down there, and the work they've done with the foundation and all the different lives they've reached is really inspiring. So please check out the It's Okay Not to Be Okay Facebook page and get around awesome merchandise like this. It's a really important message which I think we need to keep on spreading.
Yeah, Sophie, I totally support that. Mornington had a game, I think, against the Bombers last year, which was our first round of it, and made a special day of it, raised a lot of money, and it's just a wonderful cause. And the two girls that are behind it, geez, they're inspirational.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Great.
Well, get around it. We'll make sure that we will post the link to that page so you can get involved. And let's take it. We're going to flip everything a little bit this week, so stay with us. Soph's going to kick us off with Division 3.
Yeah, so across the whole entire league this weekend, I think we did see a few upsets. And over the weekend, kicking off with my girls, Kringle got the job over myself, my other team, Franks and Bombers, by about 21 points, which I think goes to show over the next few weeks, especially if you don't turn up ready to play, you are going to get beaten. But credit to Kringle, they did a really awesome job. Cerberus got the job over Officer. Warrigal got a win over Mornington.
Which I think was great for Warrigal. I think that's their very first win.
And I know they were struggling for numbers a little bit, so it's awesome to see how well they've bounced back. We see Pakenham got the job done over your girls.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us a bit of a rundown on that game?
They're continuing to be the most dominant team in the division, and they work well together as a team, but they've got some really solid girls who know their footy and know how to work the play and know how to get through the pack and just get it to their forwards so they can kick so many goals.
I think that's one of the closest games that Pakenham's probably had, so it's a credit, even though 4 points.
Yeah, well,
it's credit to you guys.
In a full strength team, when they versed Warrigal, they weren't at full strength. They had those 4 main players out, and the fact that we kept the top goal scorer in the league to 0 goals for the whole game, I think is a real testament to our defensive pressure.
Yeah, so you guys have only been around for 2 seasons, started in 2017, the Red Hill Girls?
Yes, this is our 3rd season.
3rd season, so obviously I guess how long have you been playing for?
This is my 2nd season.
2nd season.
Yeah.
So is there, I guess, a goal each kind of year that the girls are kind of looking at to, kind of progress up the ladder, or to just aim to try and make finals? Or
There's an overarching goal for the season, which is we would really like to make finals this year. We think that we've got that potential to be able to get to finals. But really, our goal each game is to keep improving and understand how we want to play as a team more and more each week.
Yeah.
And at the moment, I think we're achieving that goal.
And I think with 8 teams in the competition, playing finals is, 50% of the teams going to do it. So every game is critical for that middle to bottom 4.
Yeah.
Sure, I think you've got Pakenham out in front. You've got Bombers that have had a really good run and got wins already. And now you've got Kringle that are really showing the force. Well, I see at the moment there's one spot there that's up for grabs at the moment,
absolutely.
which is good.
And I know, Molly, we played you guys in a practice match this year just before we versed you guys in the first game of the season, and I did see how far Red Hill have come over the last few years, which is really good to see. Now, I did run into your coach Shane down at the cafe having a little coffee on Sunday morning a few weeks ago. Tell us a little bit about how your girls are tracking. Shane's filled me in with some things that you guys are doing down there, and I know you mentioned to me just before, when you guys are at training, you've actually been warming up with your men's footy players. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, well, because our previous coach wasn't so kind of proactive with integrating the women's team with the rest of the club, we're really trying to start getting that with the boys by, being in warm-up, starting to learn each other's names so that we'll come to their games on a Saturday and we'll know who we're watching, and they'll come to our games whenever we're playing and they'll know who they're watching, and we can actually be a whole club. And I think that's really important for the girls and the boys.
And the club at Red Hill is really on a high in their division with the men's.
Oh my God,
their seniors are, I think, on top. Their reserves, I think, are on top as well, and they're under.
Could have done better against Somerville.
Really good. So you're really strong club atmosphere at the moment, which is good.
Yeah, I do, and I really love being at Red Hill. It's such a great club and a committee, and Shane has really turned around the women's team. He's really brought it up together, and our improvement is really down to his leadership.
And I know Shane. Shane's a really experienced past footballer and a strong legend at Red Hill. To have people like that come and stay at the club and then commit their time to support women's footy is so beneficial to every player that's under him, and he's so passionate about it. So, I congratulate Shane on what he's doing. It's
definitely,
yeah.
We love Rambo up at the Hill.
Rambo, is that the nickname?
Yeah.
Love it.
If we take a look ahead at this weekend's matches, we have Kringle versus Officer. After playing Kringle on the weekend, I think that they will get the job done. They have some really talented players down there. Cerberus versus Warrigal. I think that'll be a really interesting game.
That'll be a really close game. Yeah, game by Cerberus and Warrigal played Mornington the last couple of rounds, and the wins by both teams against Mornington have been fairly similar. So I think it'll be a close game.
I think it's going to be a really physical game because, as we all know, the Cerberus Crib Point girls, the Navy girls, they're a strong physical side. And also from what I've heard and little bits of footage that I've seen, Warrigal also goes in hard at the ball.
Yeah. We also have Franks and Bombers versus Pakenham, which I actually think our girls will bounce back really well here, so it'll be interesting to see. I think this will really show us the difference on the weekend, so I'm really excited for the clash. And then Mornington take on Red Hill.
Yeah, and again, I think Molly was just talking about getting to finals. This is a critical game for both teams. Mornington started with 2 wins. They've had a huge amount of injuries, but they'll be competitive. And unfortunately, they're playing both games at home, so that gives them a little bit of opportunity to maybe a couple of players play 1 or 2 games if need be. But it's critical for both teams this week, and it'll be very, very interesting, I think. So.
We're very keen to verse Mornington for the first time this year, and really kind of see how far we've come, because Mornington was quite a powerhouse last year in our division. So we're wanting to see how we match up against them.
Now, there's one player I do have to mention from Mornington. She asked me last time I was on. Look, it's Rachel Miller. Rachel came from the Bombers, right? And look, she's an older player, and to me, it typifies what women's footy, how far it's come, in giving mums the opportunity to actually get out there and run around and play footy. And she is so passionate about how she goes about her footy. She stormed off last game because some decision didn't go her way. But I just respect her so much for what she's done. She's got a son.
Charlie.
Charlie, you know him better than I do. And how must he feel to see his mum being able to run around and there's a lot of mums across all the clubs doing that. So, Rach, I have mentioned you, and keep up the good work.
Yeah, absolute heart of gold. If we have a look at the Div 3 goal kickers, leading goal kickers, we have Rosaline Davis from Pakenham with 12 goals, Fate Anna Tom from Cerberus Crib Point with 9 goals, Sage Hahn with 9 goals, and Rosalind Cook from Pakenham also with 8 goals.
Fantastic. So make sure that you are keeping up to date with all the latest and greatest news on the GameFace app. It's download it. You want to keep up with the scores, you want to keep up with the ladders, it's all on there. Make sure you get it, all thanks to a lot of our sponsors and good people at Bendigo Bank and GameFace. Let's take a look at Division 2.
So if we have a look at the round 6 results, Cranbourne defeated Seaford by 24 points, and we also had Hastings and Edi Asp in a low-scoring but close game.
Really good game.
Edi Asp got the job done by 5 points.
we go. And the Devs took the win over the weekend over Pearcedale, which was good to see. The confidence get up with a couple of girls around there. A big upset, I think it was going to be seen to be. Tyab defeating Murrumbina, which I believe they haven't lost a game in 37 games.
Oh, wow.
So that's a huge role. A lot of confidence now running down there at the girls at Tyab. And I think, we probably think it's going to actually be a really good thing for Murrumbina to actually lose a game.
Yeah, I think they'll learn a lot from that. And Chris Smith, one of the interleague assistant coaches, has done a great job. Obviously, would have planned hard and worked for that win. He's probably put his cards on the table early on for Murrumbina. So it'd be interesting to see how Murrumbina really tackle Tyab next time they play them. And that may be finals. I don't know whether they do it in home and away rounds, I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, be looking forward to
But
just
another
clash.
great result.
Yeah,
Great
absolutely.
result for the competition. The other team, obviously, is standout at the moment, and I can't wait. In a couple of weeks, I think Murrumbina play Cranny. Cranny's undefeated at the moment and you said it.
They're under the radar. I think everyone's been so focused on Murrumbina and how much they've been beating everyone by that you kind of forget how well Cranbourne are going.
Yeah, and also it's hard to, for us to do the tips on who we think is going to win when we don't get around. We don't see every team. We're just going off results. So
it's hard to know with Division 2 players who's up and who's down. The other last game on that, St Kilda Sharks and Beacons, I actually saw that game at the Peanut Farm before Mornington played the Sharks, and I was really pleased. Not the Sharks lost, but to see Beaconsfield also win their first game. Troy Robinson, president of Beaconsfield, has gone back to coach the team, and he is an outstanding coach. But just so club-minded that he wanted to keep them out in the track, and they come away with a win. And the other pleasing part. Maddie Hessian, who played in our interleague group, was instrumental in what she did around the ground and how hard she worked. And I spoke to her after the game, just little smiles. And congratulations, Troy, and congratulations, Maddie.
Yeah. Oh, Maddie definitely deserves. She's a great player. So
again, come in with our group in the selection under the radar. And I saw more of got total respect for how well she can play in our interleague game, and even when I saw her then on the weekend. So it's really good.
Yeah, awesome. We also have another congratulations in order. Goes to Claire Sheehy from the St Kilda Sharks, who played her 100th game on the weekend. Take a look.
Pictures there.
Her running through the batter.
All right. Okay, so let's take a look ahead at the games that will be coming up for Division 2 in round 7. So first we've got EDS versus Seaford. How are we looking there, guys? What are we thinking?
Yeah, I think this will be a tighter game or closer game than you might think. You might think Seaford would win, but because it is at EDS, I'm not sure what time of the day it's played. They tend to play their games after the seniors men's on a Saturday, but it'll be an interesting game. I tip Seaford though.
Seaford?
Yeah.
Beaconsfield and Murrumbina. So we reckon...
Again, there's two parts of this that I think are interesting. Beaky are coming off a win.
Yes.
So they'll be confident and will have enjoyed their footy again. I'm sure they'll have a good week on the track. Troy, as I said, is a great coach. Murrumbina lost a game. I'm sure they'll bounce back.
Yeah.
So, poor Beaky, maybe.
Yeah, one way or the other. We've got Hastings and Cranbourne. So I'm thinking we'd be looking at Cranbourne to be taking that one out.
Undefeated.
Undefeated still. They're rolling along down there. Pearcedale versus the Sharks. Yeah, you're interested in this one?
It's going to be, I think it's going to be a very interesting game. Just a brief look at how the ladder's sitting, but also from my experience playing Pearcedale last year. I saw unexpectedly the Sharks were quite lower than I thought they would be. So I think it'll be really interesting to see how Pearcedale's game comes up against a team that's been in Div 2 and Div 1 for quite a long time.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be a good close game, I agree.
Yeah. And then we've got the Devils versus Tyab. Both teams coming off a really solid win there. So
and again with that, the Div 2 teams with you guys, I saw the Div 2 team against Murrumbina and got beaten really easily. And since then, the scores haven't indicated that. So we'll talk about Div 1, the scores have been really good. You've had real solid weeks. How many players actually you get into your top group that you can maybe...
Then it feeds down into the rest of the club.
Yeah. So it's unknown, but it should be a good game. And I'm sure Chris will be planning for it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, but we'll probably, I think a lot of people will be probably suggesting Tyab for that particular game. Tight for that one.
Yeah. But again, I'd say they've come off a great win, and you can tend to have that lull, and you girls will get up. I know you're coaching group.
Oh, don't worry, we will.
It will be a really good game, and get on GameFace.
GameFace.
As the scores come up, because it'll be tight.
I might even get down to Tyab.
Oh, come on down.
Yeah.
Jeez.
If we round out Division 2 with our leading goal kickers, we have Ainsley Murr from Murrumbeena on 13 goals, Katie Dean from Tyab with 8 goals, Sheridan Holland from Cranbourne with 7 goals, Alice Caves from Murrumbeena with 6 goals, and Hayley Roberts from Pisdale also with 6 goals.
Fantastic. Molly, we've just got you for a second.
Yeah.
You were involved in the Interleague program.
I was.
And obviously didn't get through, but still had a fantastic time, I would hope.
I had an excellent time. The amount of drills that I took back to the girls, and we're like, we were doing this at Interleague. It's gonna help us improve as a team, and it was a lot of them were very similar to drills we were already doing. It's just focusing on something slightly differently.
Yeah.
And I remember one that I did with Chris. We actually did the other night, and I didn't even suggest it.
Yeah.
That was just we played keepings off, and really trying to get those shepherds and blocks in.
Yeah. So from having the opportunity as a Div 3 player. That opportunity obviously has been well worthwhile, even though you didn't get selected.
Definitely, because I've been able to take the knowledge that the coaches, the Div 1 girls, the Div 2 girls were able to give me while I was there, and take that all back to my club and be like, here's what everyone else is doing. We can do it too.
Yeah.
Can I strongly recommend you put your name up again next year? Because as a Div 3 player, you weren't far off being in that group.
Oh,
okay?
excellent.
So put your name up. It was just your attitude, just your commitment to it, and it was just working on those skill things that you'll pick up. As you said, you're only in your second year of footy. So
yeah.
keep working at it.
I mean, touching on that, I was speaking with Ella on the weekend from Bass Coast, and she was telling me about one of the players there that obviously they were playing Division 2 last year, and one of the girls was picked up and selected for Richmond's VFL list, who's now already been pre-signed for their AFL team.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So it doesn't matter what division you're in, like there's a pathway now. And you don't just have to be Div 1.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the thing that everyone wants to see. Bruises. You love to show them off, and we love to show them. So I've had a few that were sent in this week after another round of football over the weekend. And this one from Kat, on the knee, looking absolutely cracking. That's from Red Hill, isn't it?
Yeah, she is. That's one of our lovely new players. She's this is her 5th game that she had against Pakenham, 5th or 4th. I don't keep track of numbers very well.
Welcome to football.
And she's got such good hands, and for someone who's never played football before and comes from Europe where soccer reigns supreme.
Yep.
She's just picked up the game like a natural, and we're so happy to have her as part of our team.
Unreal. They're the players you want. Laura Beattie. Laura is from Hastings. Ooh. That's what happened when you get too close to smothering the ball. I think that's called, that's pretty much a falcon. I think falcon to the eye.
We had a few black eyes on the weekend.
Did you?
I'm surprised my girls didn't
Oh, God, send them in. What are you doing? We'll find you something. There we go. And Alice Rogers from Seaford. And I think this is what happens when this is why she doesn't like the ruck. So too many knees into the side there. That's going to be coming up nice and ginger for the rest of the week. Thank you for sending in your bruises. We love to see them. All right. Shall we move on to Division 1 round 5 results? So Cranbourne and Seaford. So Seaford got up in that match there, still rolling along really, really nicely, Seaford. And shout out to Rachel Hunt from Cranbourne, who celebrated 150 games, which I think we've also got a couple of photos there. Yeah, that's massive. Bass Coast and the Devs, we got up, yep. Can I just say, even though the scoreboard, whatever, it's very much the whole cliche. The scoreboard doesn't say, what the game was like. But there's some really good girls down at Bass Coast. They went hard at the footy.
Mac, you made the comment earlier about how you girls approach it, even though you are a dominant team and it was a dominant game, how the Bass Coast girls really still enjoyed the game and came off and said, look, we enjoyed it. We know we got beaten by a better side, but it's credit to you and your leadership and the whole team at Eastern, how you've done it. And I saw that several weeks ago against Mornington too. and you dominated the second or 3 quarters of that game. But just your attitude around the group is fantastic.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, there's no point, like, at the end of the day, football wins.
When I saw that score, I thought, oh, Chloe Hunt must have kicked a bag of goals, 25 goals.
She didn't play. No, she didn't play. It was a good spread of goals along there. We had Shelley Beggs.
Shelley Beggs,
one of the mums.
is a standout. She's
Absolutely. 6 goals, and she's a mum. So all the mums out there, you 100% can do it. And then we had St Kilda defeated Mornington down there at the Peanut Farm.
Yeah. Look, and I was at that game. Mornington really give 100% early on, but they just don't have the depth at the moment. At quarter time, it was probably only 3 goals to 1 goal. So they were in the contest, but then they just don't have the depth with so many injuries and that at the moment, and struggled to be competitive during the whole game.
Yeah. Well, it was a good day out for the Sharks.
Yeah.
They really bounced back after a loss last week, and they celebrated in style because they had 2 players who were celebrating 150 games. So once again, another massive effort. Amanda Walsh, Mousy, and Georgia Harris, both also were in the bests. Mousy was best on ground, I believe.
Yeah,
so
it's the girl on the right. Yeah. Yep, absolutely best on ground.
Yep.
Yeah, she was dominant up forward and really, really good. And look, the coach spoke to the Mornington coach, Steve Rowe, after the game, because he came in and spoke to the girls, and the advice she was giving to Steve was they learnt so much from playing Eastern the week before. So they learnt from the loss and took it into the game and getting the ball out the back, opening the game up, and you could see from the first quarter that's how they played, and it gradually wore Mornington down. Opening the game up, out the back with handballs, 3 or 4 players there, always there for an option, and you must have showed them a lot. And I always say and believe you do learn a lot from losing. And I, early on, when you guys came up against Seaford in that very first round, you have learnt every week from that and still remember it. I bet you can't wait to play them again.
I cannot wait. I didn't get to play that game, so I cannot wait. First round. All right, so round 7, the fixture coming up. So Bass Coast versus St Kilda Sharks. We probably think that the Sharks will take that one out, but Bass Coast keep going at it. Devils versus Port Melbourne. Really looking forward to playing these guys. Massive difference in their team from last year.
Yeah, absolutely, because they beat Mornington relatively easily before the bye. They've had the bye round, then they've had last week off as a bye, so they'll have players. They won't be struggling too much with injuries. They are up against a talented outfit in Eastern, but it'll be a good game.
Good game, yeah. And then Mornington versus Cranbourne. So Cranbourne are coming off some good form. Mornington, as you've said, are struggling a little bit with injuries.
And a huge amount of injuries. And Cranbourne's strength at the moment is they're in that top 4 in Div 1. Yeah. But how strong are their Div 2 team? So if they've got slight injuries or difficulties this week, well, they're going to have players that are eager to get up there. So unfortunately, Mornington hasn't got that depth at the moment.
Yeah, unfortunately. And we've got Seaford with the bye. All right. To the Division 1 goal kickers, Georgia Harris, after celebrating her 150th, is on 13 goals. Emac, Sups and Shelley Beggs from the Devils are all on 9 goals equally. And Pam Rogers, our mate down there from Cranbourne, is also on 9 goals.
Alright guys, the reason we are able to bring you guys this show every week is due to our wonderful sponsors. So I want to give a huge shout out to Gary and his team down at Bendigo Bank for not only sponsoring GameFace but also sponsoring the South East Women's Football League as a whole. And a huge shout out again to Swifts Locker and 1111 Fitness. We absolutely love bringing you guys this show each week and we could not do it without them.
Legends. And also make sure, if you're not part of it yet, join the group on Facebook, South Eastern Women's Football Group. You just have to apply, click that you can attend the group or be a part of the group straight away. We love to see your photos, stories, anything, your bruises. Please get involved. All right. Awesome. Okay, so this is a little bit we like to call Under the Bus, all right, where we throw a couple of questions old mate Molly's way and see what she comes up with. So, you ready?
Yeah.
Because I've been to Savers and I've got a cracking prize for you. I'll tell you what. Let's take it away. So,
is it a footy?
Not quite.
So, considering you love to take the warm-up, which we found out, you love to take the warm-up down at Molly's, do you pull your ankle backwards or forwards to stretch your hamstring?
Neither. You don't pull your ankle. That's a bad idea.
Oh, yeah. What way do you move your leg?
I mean, forwards-ish?
We'll go with that, sure. Who from the team is most likely to accidentally lock themselves in the toilets just to miss warm-up or additional running?
Ooh, probably Jem.
Jem?
Our lovely Indigenous player. She's played over, I think, 160 games of footy now. But she's not a fan of the running.
She's veteran's rule. She's like, I'm a veteran now, I don't have to warm up.
She's just like, nah, I'm not about the running. So probably Jem.
All right, Jem.
I quite like this next one. So you're at a club function. Who is the most likely to request horses to be played?
Oh, God. Definitely not me. I think it's probably most likely going to be our captain, Kate Riley, Rocket.
Yep.
I love her, but she doesn't have the greatest taste in music sometimes.
Is she like, get in the circle, get in the circle? All right. Talking about music and considering you play for Red Hill, which song do you prefer? The Hills by The Weeknd or Castle on the Hill by Ed Sheeran?
Castle on the Hill by Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, okay.
I like her my little ginger Englishman.
So quite like tonight, it's raining. You've got training. You actually do have training time.
Yeah.
Just missed training to join us.
I missed training.
Kudos to that. Yes. Who's the first person to suggest that you cancel training if it's pouring down with rain?
Probably Reezy. She's not a fan of the rain, and she gets sick quite easily, so she doesn't like to be out in the rain.
Oh, you can thank us later because it's pouring down outside right now. We can hear it, and you've missed training, so you can just thank us later for that one.
Okay.
If it's raining, it'll be cold on the hill.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It'll be freezing. It'll be like 3 degrees.
Okay, so quiz about Red Hill. Okay. Is it called Red Hill because the soil has a red tinge? The wineries produce great red wines, or great grapes for wine? Or the founder was colourblind and thought the green hills were actually red?
I'm going to go with the red dirt.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. It was a hard one. It was a really hard one.
Solid geology subject from uni coming in there.
I think they have quite good red wine down there.
They also do have lots of nice red wine. Foxy's Pinot Noir.
Now, last one from me. Since Red Hill's theme song is based off She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain, what type of challenge would your coach Shane be more interested at attempting? A, Mount Everest. B, consecutive mountain malt milkshakes from Pancake Parlour. Which one?
The mountain malt milkshakes.
Of course, they're delicious. Of course. 20 in a row. Calcium high. And finally, so I see at the end of June, Red Hill has your auction night coming up.
We do.
Okay, so who from the club would auction themselves off for a date?
Ooh.
This is a good one.
Oh, this is a hard one because like half of the ladies are in relationships.
Single? Oh no, I was going to say not single and ready to mingle.
I'm going to have to say Jem again.
Jem. All right. Well,
she's got a bit of a crush on one of the fellas in the seniors.
Oh, we're going to make sure he watches this show now.
I wonder if the footy club just added another item.
I know. Southeastern Women's Love Show. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
hey,
thank you so much.
because you've joined us, I've been down to Savers. All right? And I know we're in June, but we're almost in July. Christmas in July, so that's a Christmas pack.
Oh,
just
excellent.
of soaps. But that just came with this item that was unbelievable. It's a tongue cleaner. So everyone needs, who knows what you do with a tongue cleaner, but it was the most unbelievable thing I could find there, and that is for you.
That looks like one of those like hand springs.
Yeah.
It looks filthy, so I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you for joining us. I was really excited to be able to get one of the Hillies on the show. So thanks for joining us and all the best for the rest of the year.
Yeah, good luck for the rest of the year, except Sunday.
Fair enough. Thanks for having me. I've really enjoyed being here.
No worries. Thanks for joining us as well, Gary.
That's great. Thanks, mate.
Stickers, been legend. We will see you guys next week after another action-packed round of football. And remember, get your game face on.
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 With your hat.